And hello, everybody, and welcome to Piece of Pat Paints. Let me get my coffee out of the way because nobody really wants to look down in there. That seems weird. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day. I'm having a pretty decent day. Little allergy stuff going on. I got a dizzy, sick kiddo in the back, hanging out watching Simpsons reruns because he found Simpsons and he's fascinated with it. So salute. I totally get it. Anyway, so like I said, I told you guys yesterday I'd bring this in so you guys see it. This is a box of skulls from Citadel. Yeah, the little unboxing or whatever. Is that what they call these things? I think that's what it's called, right? You open it up, they do an unboxing. For anybody who's actually wanted to see what these look like. So you get a lot of skulls. There's only one of them you have to put together, and that's the big guy, which I think is a Star Screamer or Star Killer, whatever it's called. Anyway, Carnifex. Anyway, there's a bunch of different skulls in here for all sorts of types of demons, as well as tons and tons and tons of human skulls of different varieties. So this is a good little thing to have, and these are all official Citadel pieces, so they'll look great with the Citadel stuff, and it'll keep it all kind of nice and consistent. Pull off these guys. I'll throw that in the sprue goo, maybe, or maybe we'll use them for something. Those look pretty futuristic. Who knows? Nice little nibs. Anyway, those are cool. I thought I'd show you that. And I also grabbed a little bit of air red lead belcher so that I could do some things with it. One darker shade of metal. Well, I think this one's lighter. It's just a shade lighter than our Iron Warriors, but it's not quite as light as our silver. So it'll look great on a couple of different things, weapons and things like that. As well as armor and there's all sorts of stuff I need these things for. Plus, I wanted to try out Citadel's airbrush stuff. I haven't never used Citadel's airbrush stuff. I use army painters. I want to see what it was like. Plus, whenever I'm in a store, I like to spend a little bit of money at that store just because it's, that seems like the right thing to do. Anyway, we're gonna get to work. Alrighty. That's that 5. I don't need the 5. I want that 3. So, when last we were working on this guy, we were doing his gray. He has lots of gray. Even on this white, we're probably going to make the white a little gray on his white, because he's got white hair on part of him and gray on the others. Gray, black, white, that kind of stuff is the color gradation for his hair. I think he's supposed to be kind of like an old dog or wolf or something similar to that. I keep meaning to look up some stuff about him, but I keep forgetting to do it. Hopefully I can get to it this weekend. Had a super busy weekend this last weekend, so we're looking forward to a little bit of a chiller weekend this weekend. Not that we mind. We all had a great time. And just kind of work that in there real gently. That stuff way under there isn't going to show up a whole lot, and if you make any mistakes in there, it'll be alright. Just try not to jam your brush in. We definitely always want to avoid jamming. So pay attention to where your brush is making contact. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and drop this next coat down on top of them. Just to make, oop, that's a little too much white in there. We just want to make sure all of our spaces are covered real well, because we're going to go to a wash on this next. When you're doing something like this, it's definitely better to go ahead and work in sections. So like I'm going to do this section and I'm going to come all the way down. Get all that space in between done before you move on to the next section. And go left or right, whichever one you want to go, but get one sector done. One section done. Because once it starts drying on you, you need to be organized enough to know which way you're going. Because it's going to start drying on you. And it will change, especially gray. Because again, gray's got white in it, so it's definitely going to change. I just ran an update on my computer, so now it's telling me all these things. It's like, oh, da 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 da, and you're like, yeah, I know. Later. I get you, Steve. I get you, but we're busy, bro. And again, it's okay if it's a little different color. Well, a little different shade. Hair doesn't always, it's not always the same colors on someone's head. So like if you pull out one person's hair and they're blonde, they might have some hair that has a little bit of brown tint to it. It might have some hair that has almost a white tint to it. Some hair that has that true, yellow blonde color. It can vary even on a single head of hair on a person. So if you've got a slight variation, you're fine. As long as your color mixes are close to the same on something like this, it's going to look okay. This is also still our base coat, so we're gonna end up adding some washes, and then we're gonna come back and add another layer of colors to it. So goodness. Allergies are really kicking butt today. Making me all froggy. Ribbit. Take a chance to get in here too while I see it. Don't get too distracted. Make sure you get that concluded quickly and get back to where you were, so you don't lose your spot on your second coat. It'd be really easy to get lost. Those first coats are easier. You definitely see which way it's going, because it's the primer color and not the primer color. But once it's already got gray on it, there's a little bit more of a you gotta look for where it's wet, or hopefully it's got enough of a color difference you can see it. But sometimes it's just wet. way deep down in there. Well, it's hard to get down right in there, but I think we're good. Here, we're going to fix any of those armor mistakes later. Alright. Well, that's a really interesting place to get into. Here we go. All right. Get his hand. I'm not sure what all colors his hand is supposed to be. We'll have to take a look at that too. Goodness sakes. Excuse me, everybody who's watching later, because right now I've just excused me, Kristen. I know who's always listening, but I know people will be on later, and I certainly do apologize for all the coughing. Definitely won't be seeing this palm. It'll be up against that pillar. But we're not going to leave it black. We'll figure out what color it's supposed to be. We'll probably be able to adjust it if we'll be able to adjust it if we have to. Goodness. If we have to later. Gonna make me a little shaky. I've been coughing so much. That's not good. Alright. See, and that one is in the gauntlet, but that one is out. So, just a little slight difference. Which honestly, I think is good. Okay. I gotta do this side. This is what I'm definitely thankful I went ahead and put that pin in that arm, because now I didn't go anywhere. If we gotta grab it, you don't have to be as nervous. And I took the pin out of his foot. I had put it in there while we paint him because I didn't want to stab myself in the hand with it, like repeatedly as we worked on this. So it was just kind of like sticking right out of the bottom of his foot, and like I didn't want to keep jabbing my hand into it as I'm working. That's the thing you always gotta really think about is, it's like, are you comfortable in the position you're working in? Because if you're uncomfortable with something, You know, even if it's something like, oh, things keep stabbing me, or I feel like it's too heavy and I feel like it's going to break, or any of those things. Being able to know that you can do something about it is helpful, I think. And going ahead and learning when to go ahead and make the decision. Learning when. Super important. Okay, awesome. Alright, there we go. Alright, so that's the knee, that's the part that's holding it on. And that's going to be the part of his leg. Same thing in here. Just a little bit of that leg showing. And we did pretty okay over here. The model isn't exactly the same on both sides as far as how they separated this. So it's a little bit, it's easy to kind of miss it if you don't know what you're looking at. We're just going to go ahead and get some color in here. And we'll touch this up later. And we might even be able to make like that, like a leather piece, which would be fun. It would look great, just having a little bit of a leather color to it. We'll make that decision later. Really want to get this gray done up today. We got plenty of time. So we're just going to keep going on that. I got pasta sauce cooking in the kitchen. This smells so good. But I think I'm going to have to go and stir it. Here in just a second. Goodness. I wouldn't put too much stress on this, by the way. That was just kind of a quick turn. It does feel like it would not support a whole lot of weight by itself, so definitely don't use that as a handle if you ever get a hold of this model. Our client said that all these came from eBay, I believe. eBay or Etsy? Etsy, I think. Etsy. So they are available. For all of you Elden Ring fans out there. Okay. I'm going to run and stir this sauce real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay. Alright, pot served. Hey, there's Michael. Hello, sir, how are you? Had to go serve some sauce. Mr. Gold is the client for this particular project, so always nice to have him come by and take a look at where we are. Have you seen this piece yet? So there's the... Let's go ahead and get him all the way on there, I guess. And again, we're going to re-add that pin to his back foot to stabilize him better. Yeah. Starting to look great. Alright. Let's see, where were we? Down here on his feet. So now he's got a piece of foot or piece of armor on his actual foot here, as well as this part that's segmented here. So you pay real close attention to where armor ends and foot begins. And we're going to drop this gray down here to help us kind of mark this out as we work on his skin tones and his fur. But we've got to have this marker. I'm going to try to make his hide look a little bit more dark brown and leathery, but I want to start off with this gray because he's almost black in general, but we want to make him kind of like a, and it's hard to describe, it's like a brownish black, because you know an animal, when you get down to his hide, it won't actually be black. Just the way it goes. But I think his claws are black too, which will be another great place to kind of make a brown black, similar to like a bear claw. I definitely got to take some more. I need to have my boy play play the level again so I can see him in action. It was a whole lot easier to tell what was going on when I saw the movement in the game. It's amazing how little black it takes to make gray. I always find that amusing. Throw just a tiniest speck of gray and white, and it's just bam, gray, or black and white. Okay. A little itch on my nose there. If we get a little over paint, that's okay. We're definitely going to come back and work on that armor. I'm still looking for a black metallic I like. I haven't been able to find one yet. So like I said, I might end up making my own. It's like a dark gray. Alright. Now on to that tail. Ever so gently, ever so carefully. Do-do, do-do-do. And get right in there. He's got tail pieces coming out of everywhere. Way back up in there. As I said, we want to get all this base coating, this base coat gray done today, so we can keep moving on. Gang-a-rang of Payne. Boom, 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 boom. He's gonna look great though. Even just this little bit of gray is really gonna help the whole thing start to stand out. I'm hoping we can use some other colors on like this cloak. I gotta see what color it actually is, but hopefully it's a little bit of a different, even if it's a different gray, it'd be great. Just so we get some change ups. And this braid looks like it's, or this clasp looks like it's made out of some sort of fabric or something. So we'll look into that. Those little places where we can kind of get some different colors is really going to help make all its primary colors stand out better and give the model, it'll make it look more attractive. The color breaks and change ups make your eyes move across the piece. I'm really kind of excited to get into this next model in our Elden Ring series because she doesn't have any gray on her at all. I think if it does, it's like a purple gray. It's like a gray. These last two guys have been pretty gray and black. Not that I'm complaining. Just just one of those statements. We got to play with plenty of color with our Steech guy. The Sahagin. So you get to vary them up, change it up a little bit, do a little bit here, a little bit there. It'll be interesting to do two of these back to back. Okay. Moving right along. Oh, a little mistake there. Just gonna catch that real quick before it dries. There we go. That was a pretty dramatic change up in the music. It's still the same track thing, I guess. Okay, now we're on to the very bottom part of the tail. Almost. Get that and get on the inside of here. I was just playing. There's still more of this one. Good Lord. There we go. All right. Mm-hmm. You can see my hand shaking, trembling. I think that cut still kind of affected my hand strength. That's the hand I cut myself on. It's almost healed up though. I can still feel it down in there itching. It's pretty deep. Definitely going to need to clean this brush after all this. I'm trying to change out that water too. Kind of keep just working these over. The whole idea is to get this coat in and done today. It is a lot. Okay, almost there. Oh man, time's starting to fly. I'm seeing a few little of these pock marks from the supports when they printed it. No big deal though. They're not something you'd really notice in the overall sculpture when it's done. If you're worried about them, you can always file them out. You could add something to it too, and then file it smooth, or just file it smooth all the way from there. I almost feel like filling the holes with something and filing it down works better. You don't want to get to filing away at any details that might be on there. Alright, there we go. That's almost all that gray done. I'm gonna have to come back and do a second coat on that tail. That's a good start. Kind of want to get this piece done before I get out of here today, just to have both these knee pads fit kind of colored. It's going to make it look better. Let's see what happens if we add just a little bit of this is a little bit of an experiment. That's pretty black, but still slightly metallic. All right, we're gonna test this small piece right here. We'll let that dry, and we'll take a look at that on Monday and see how that looks. And if it looks right, then that may be our armor color right there. It'd be easier on this one to buy a consistent color, but we're trying to make a black shiny armor. It's going to look pretty snazzy. It's a little bit darker than our lead belcher. It's kind of hard to see that on the palette, but it is definitely darker. So we'll let that dry and we'll find out how it looks next week. So we're in pretty good shape here today. I'll drop another coat of gray on this. I may work on some more of this gray off camera. We'll see. I might not. I might work on one nice. Yeah. Who knows? Depends on how things go. But that's us for today, I think. Looking pretty flippin' snazzy. There we go. He's so big, you can't hardly see him all at once. It's such a big model. I'm just trying to get somewhere. Yeah, I do like that slight sheen to that black. Yeah, that'll look good. Just catches the light just slightly different. Anyway, well, that's about all I got for you today. I'm gonna go take care of my sick kid and my sauce, that's cooking away on the stove. And I'm going to be back at this on Monday for all of you folks that follow us. And anyway, thanks for everybody who comes by. Appreciate you watching the show. And appreciate all the likes and the comments and all that stuff. Really does make the heart happy and keeps you motivated as we move along through this vlog, or whatever you're supposed to call these things. Anyway, hope you guys have a great day. I had a great day. We're going to talk to you later. Bye.